Final test, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic level, WCTV, good. 27, you all good? Check 1, Vaughn, you good? WFSU, check 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. WFSU, check 1, 2, 3. Good level. Test 1. WTXL, TVU unit, Dana Lyons.
A&M Sports. I'm Valen Scott. Just testing 1, 2, 3.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Just wanted to give you an update. We are going to do about a 10-minute delay to make sure our guest of the hour arrives. Feel free to come down and join us in the seats if you like to. We'll get started in about 10 minutes. Thank you.
Final check. Test 1. A&M 95, 90.5, good. Check 1, 2, 3. All good.
ladies, how you all doing? Y'all ready for school to end? Any seniors? Graduating next year? Your energy and all you do. I've been trying to have your energy. I know where it is. Where y'all from? Right. Not Tallahassee, Broward right there.
Is Lauren here? I haven't seen Lauren May.
I haven't seen her either.
If we could have all our platform guests to the floor, we'll get started in just a minute. Good morning, good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, Rattlers. I am Dr. Alonda Thomas, and I serve as your Chief Marketing and Communications Officer here at Florida A&M University. And I'm honored to serve as your MC for this morning's press conference to announce FAMU's 16th head men's basketball coach, Charlie Ward. Thank you for joining us today, for those of you who are here in person and those who are watching online. In a moment, you'll hear from our distinguished platform guests, followed by an opportunity for our media to host a Q&A with Coach before we adjourn. But before I continue, last week, our sister institution in the greater Tallahassee community endured a horrific event. Our thoughts and prayers remain top of our minds and hearts as we grieve along with our colleagues and friends at Florida State University. Please join me in taking a moment of silence for the victims and survivors of last week's shooting and the resilient students, faculty, and staff, many of whom are bravely returning to campus today. Please pause for a moment of silence. May God's peace bring healing to the FSU community, our city, and this nation. Amen and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today's good news has had the internet buzzing for days. Are the rumors true? Is one of Capital City's legendary star athletes taking the coaching helm at the nation's top public HBCU? Well, I'm happy to report that the wait is over. Our first speaker for today is a recent Diamond Award recipient, a dedicated servant leader, and a die-hard Rattler through and through. Please help me welcome Interim President Timothy Beard to bring greetings.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Good morning, everyone. This is a great day at FAMU indeed. I'm delighted to welcome Coach Charlie Ward to Florida Agricultural Mechanical University. Is that worthy of a hand this morning? As you know, Coach Ward is no stranger to Tallahassee. His stellar football career as a quarterback at Florida State University earned him the 1993 Heisman Trophy. He also remains men's basketball leading career steals leader at FSU with 236, and also ranked 6th all-time in assists with 396. Yes, Charlie was a bad boy on the court and field. However, his ties to FAMU go back further than his awards and accolades. His father, Charlie Ward Sr., who's here with us today. Mr. Ward, thanks for being here. Was indeed a standout under the late legendary coach Jake Gaither in the late 1950s. His parents and older sister also attended FAMU, so we may have missed out on having Charlie at FAMU as a student, but how many of you know that God's timing is perfect? At FAMU, we offer our students the best of both worlds, and the student athletes who will play for Coach Ward will experience that by getting up close and personal with a champion caliber former student athlete who understands the work ethic and perseverance that it takes to win. Coach Ward will be an instructor and a mentor for our students, guiding athletes to reach their student potential as a student and, of course, as a person as a whole. Coach Ward will instill discipline, personal growth, and yes, teamwork with our student athletes. Coach Ward will instill lasting values in our players that will stay with them through their careers and beyond. Coach, we're happy to welcome you to the family, as the 16th coach of the FAMU's men's basketball team. And if you don't mind, let me add, we had a chance to spend some time with Coach yesterday, evening on the golf course. And although he was a great football athlete, basketball, his golf game is not too bad. I'm not sure if it's like Steph Curry, but it may be a little close. We look forward to watching you don the orange and green, and I look forward to many exhilarating seasons with you at the helm. Again, congratulations, Coach. Welcome to the family.
Thank you, Dr. Beard. Our next speaker is no stranger to the family. She was literally born on this campus in Foothill Hospital, and her ties to our beloved institution run so deep that she saw fit to return to her alma mater to become our athletics director. Please help me welcome Vice President Angela Suggs, who will introduce our man of the hour.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Beard. all of you that are here, Commissioner Williams-Cox and others that have come from the community, welcome to the Alfred Lawson Multipurpose Teaching Gymnasium, and most importantly, as we speak today, the home of the FAMU Rattler basketball program. We are super excited that you joined us this morning. In such a short time, we of course have a couple of thank yous. Thank you to Dr. Beard, thank you to Chair Harper, Kristen Harper, Vice Chair Devron Gibbons, to the Chair of the FAMU Foundation Board, Ken Neighbors. Thank you to the President of the FAMU National Alumni Association, Curtis Johnson. Thank you to the President of the Rattler Boosters, Selvin Cobb. Thank you to the Vice President of the Rattler Boosters, Colonel Ronald Joe. Thank you to the members of the many alumni chapters across the country, to the foundation board members, members of the Board of Trustees, to my colleagues on the senior leadership team, to the Ward family. Welcome to the Hill. Welcome back to the Hill. To the original Coach Ward, when I was here the first time, they have been longtime season ticket holders. They were the first to jump in on Thousand Strikes. He and his wife, my good soror, Mrs. Ward, in terms of, if you name it, they were a part of it at the highest levels. Division I sports is changing across the globe. And for all of our coaches, I'd like for our head coaches to please stand, that cover the 14 sports that make up the Florida A&M University, and all of the assistant coaches, would you please stand as well? The support staff of the FAMU Athletics Department, would you please stand? Our senior woman administrator, Brittany Johnson. Other members of the team, would you please stand? Thank you so much. You may be seated. As the landscape changes, it requires a level of excellence that we've not seen before. It's going to require more from us all. It's going to require more from us as a staff. It's going to require more from our university partners. It's going to require more from the community. It's going to require more, not just the core, but also adding to the core and to provide more. There are 9,000 seats in this arena. We need them all filled. And so we back in a side over there for the courtside club. So let's bring that down to about 6. We need that. Season tickets are on sale now in the Rattler box office. Please get yours before you leave. It's going to require a different level of donation. I traveled back with our men's basketball team from Huntsville with the Alabama A&M game. I'd like to acknowledge their presence here today. Let's give them a round of applause. And so I had several stops to make before I went to Huntsville. We watched them play in Montgomery, and then we went on to Huntsville to watch them play. And I said, I'm riding back with you all. And they said, for real? And I said, yes. Well, we started a game at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. They played the game. They ate after the game. They had to stop a couple of times with the bus. I guess God wanted me to have the real experience. And we rolled back into Tallahassee at 7:15 a.m. That's what time we got back. And then they're expected to go to class, right? And then they're expected to do it again because that game was on Monday and they needed to get back on the road on Friday to then play Saturday and then play Monday again. And so I went to leadership meeting that morning, which started at 8:30, so that I could share a firsthand experience of what these student athletes are going through, right? Because, I don't have a class excuse, right? And so what does it take? Well, we needed them in the air. We needed them in the air so that they could have gotten back at a more reasonable hour, so that it's less wear and tear on their bodies. Guys, stand up. So my program height is 5'5". That's, that 5'5", 5'5". I might be able to sit, y'all can have a seat. I might be able to sit for a longer period of time. But as their bodies are there. And this is for all of our student athletes. If it's more than 6 hours and you're taking multiple trips, wouldn't you try to be in the air? And so that's what we want for our student athletes, and that's going to require more. It's going to require a different level of excellence. It's going to require your contributions to the FAMU Foundation, of which you can give today. The link will be far spread and wide, and we will have representatives upstairs that can take your donation today. I have 2 more points to cover. As the NCAA settlement is being discussed across the landscape, and you see it on the ticker, guess what? Us too. As a voluntary member through the NCAA of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, under the leadership of Commissioner McClellan, Florida A&M University is a part of everything that you're reading. And so that revenue share that's coming to campus in terms of fair market value for our student athletes, us too. That NIL that's coming directly to campus, us too. We want to thank past FAMU National Alumni President, Mr. Tommy Mitchell and Teresa Berger for all of their support of our teams while they're on the road. It's going to take more of that. And so I will close, and before I introduce Coach Ward, by saying thank you. As we say in the church, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you're doing right now, and thank you for what you're about to do. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our 16th head Rattler basketball coach, Coach Charlie Ward Jr.
Can we get y'all to step to this side?
Good. Coach.
And then we have a hat for you. Oh, we can put it there, or you can put it on.
I'll put it on.
All right.
This is a tough moment for me. I've been trying to figure out how I was going to make it through this without having some type of emotional time, because as many of you all know, as AD Suggs, I appreciate you. You're one of the main reasons why I'm standing here today. And so I'm grateful for that opportunity that you provided for me. I just want to thank the Florida A&M University Board of Trustees, the interim president, Beard. Appreciate you going on the golf course with me yesterday. You're in MG. It was a great time we had out there. The athletic department, all the coaches, staff. I appreciate you guys showing up today as well. AD Suggs, as I mentioned, thanks for your confidence in me and giving me this opportunity. I was truly honored to be named the next head men's basketball coach here at Florida A&M University. I want to also thank my lovely wife, which she's a great blessing for me, because she has taught me a lot about sacrifice. She sacrificed a lot for my career. We'll be married 30 years in August. she's given up her career time and time again and hasn't gone unnoticed. So I appreciate you. I'd like to thank Caleb, Hope, and Joshua as well, because they've done the same thing. They sacrificed a lot. And so I'm just grateful for my family. Of course, my mom and dad and my sister. One of the things I get to do now is live out your legacy, which I'm proud to do. I know a lot of times people have looked at me and didn't want to follow behind me. But I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to be able to follow behind you guys. There's quite a few people here I've seen and met, I've seen that I know really, really well. So I appreciate all of you guys who I know well, and I've said hello. I appreciate you all being here. It's truly a blessing to be able to see you guys as well. I'd like to thank Bobby Height and Michelle Mays, who came out of town. They're part of my team as well. I have a couple coaches that's going to be joining us here as well. So grateful for them being a part and being here to be able to take in this moment. For the past 7 seasons, I've served as the head coach of the boys basketball team at Florida High, where I was blessed to help shape young players both on and off the court. And I'd like to thank Coach Tyrone McGriff for bringing me back to Tallahassee, and Coach Robinson, and all of my basketball moms and team members that are here and that have been a great blessing for me for the past 7 years. I thank you guys for all the work that you all helped us build the teams that we've been able to have and the success we've been able to have. So I appreciate you. It was the opportunity to coach at Florida High that brought me back to Tallahassee. I'm happy my family and I have been able to put down roots in the city that has played such an important role in my life. Since moving back to Tallahassee in 2018, my family and I have been able to immerse ourselves in the community that has become our home. Our children have attended schools here, and both Tanja and I have been fortunate to join the boards of several local organizations. We are dedicated to Tallahassee, and we're invested in serving the community that has given us so much as our family. As you might know, we are currently working on the development of the Champions Ranch, which will offer multi-generational athletics, education, recreation, wellness, performance arts, and life skills. It will be a destination for youth and families to play and so much more, right here in Tallahassee. The ranch will provide sports, support services, mentorship, and skill development opportunities that empower the next generation to succeed in work and life. Our collective collaborative impact model will bring together multiple organizations through partnerships, including with institutions like FAMU, which will help contribute to a stronger and more vibrant community. This next chapter as a collegiate coach is not a stepping stone. I'll say it again. This next chapter as a collegiate coach is not a stepping stone. Rather, it solidifies our commitment to Tallahassee. And I'll triple down on this one, because this is the only job, collegiate job, that I was willing to take. Wow. Because we were building here the Champions Ranch. I wanted to stay married for another 30 years. So the decision was easy, that I didn't have to move. And my wife gave me the okay to make this move because she knew it was going to take more sacrifice and more time. But she knew that the time that I was putting in high school was very similar to college time as well. And so many of you may know me as a Seminole, but I was born a Rattler.
All right.
And so I actually just came from the hospital that I was born in HR. So that was very interesting. I'm not sure which floor or which number I was in, but I'm sure I hit that room one day. But of course, my mother and father met on FAMU's campus more than 65 years ago, and my older sister Lita is also a FAMU alumni. So the opportunity to join FAMU in this capacity was a welcome one. I have a lot of respect for the work that has been done with this program and the foundation that's been laid. I'm excited about the opportunity to work alongside our returning players, future recruits, and an incredible team within the athletic department to continue building this exceptional program and help guide it toward reaching its fullest potential. Our team will be defined by our pace. What does pace mean? We will be prepared. The A stands for we will be accountable, first for ourselves and then to our teammates. The C has two C's. One is we will have a competitive spirit. We will compete in all things, classroom, against one another, still loving each other afterwards, and against the team, the opponents as well. And we will be committed to doing things with excellence. And what does the E stand for? There's two of them. We will play with great effort, we will give great effort in all things, and we will have to execute. Our goal as a program would be focused on the whole athlete by providing them opportunities in professional development, community outreach, team bonding, and being leaders on campus. We will develop men of character and integrity so they can reach whatever goal they set. I'm committed to building a team that competes hard, plays with discipline, and represents FAMU with pride. Again, I thank you all, and I look forward to getting started. Go Rattlers. Yes. If you have any questions.
For our professional media partners who are in the audience, we'll take questions at this time.
Coach Ward, what was the response from your parents when you told them you were going to take the job?
I really didn't tell them. When we were going through the process, of trying to get it to where it was hush-hush, which was hard, and it didn't happen, as you probably heard, because I did get a lot of text messages and calls about, and I was turning down calls, so if you called me and I didn't answer during that time, that was the reason why. Nothing personal, but it ended up getting out anyway. That I was having a conversation with A.D. Suggs, and this literally just happened, like 8 days ago. I was out in Portland, Oregon. I was one of the coaches for Nike Hoop Summit, and I got a text message from my wife. She said that A.D. Suggs was going to be giving me a call and to be open-minded. So when she said that, and then A.D. Suggs texted me and said, give me a call. Then I started putting two and two together. And so it started evolving. We got on the phone, got a conversation going Saturday to hear her vision for the program. And my wife gave me the okay to pursue it. And so it happened in a short period of time. But as I said earlier, literally about 4 years ago, I said this would be the perfect job for me if college was an option. And so God, through my brother prophesied as well that this day would be coming, not here specifically, but where I potentially would be. And so God opened his door without me. I went to Portland without the thought of being where I am today.
Coach Ward, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your new job at FAMU. Gerald Thomas, Dallas Democrat. Talk about it. Touch on it during the press conference, but the legacy. Like you said, your father played football here. You were born here on campus. How much did that play a role in you saying, yeah, it's time to become FAMU?
Well, I was born here, and I used to come to all the football games. And also when Clement Johnson was playing over in Gaither Gym, I used to go over there and watch him play. And so I was the only guy I remembered. But it's a good guy to remember. But I grew up coming to FAMU's campus. So to be able to be here is a great blessing for me.
So you talking about the championship ranch. Where are you at on that?
Well, we're all getting close to the first phase, goal of making that a reality, or breaking ground. Still raising the necessary funds to make that happen. But when it's all said and done, God's opened that door as well, and he's brought us to this point to be able to help us continue. And so we definitely look forward to FAMU being a part of the Champions Ranch with the mentorship programs that we'll be able to afford with the student athletes as part of the NIL, whatever we want to do deal. But it's something that we'll be able to marry now.
Capital Outlook, and Coach, if you could try to repeat the question.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Sinclair Moraine with the Capital Outlook. Morning, Coach. Congratulations. Talk a little bit about what it actually feels like to come back to your birthplace and be actually walking in the footsteps of your dad and contributing to the athletic legacy here at FAMU.
What does it feel like to walk in my dad's legacy, mom and dad's legacy? Of course, it's always, it's going to be tough. First and foremost, one of the things I want everyone to understand and know that none of us in here are perfect. So I'm not going to make all the great decisions. One of the things I've learned is I've made some bad decisions. I made some average decisions, and I made some good decisions. One thing that's the same is I've learned from them all. And so that is still going to be the case. And so as I've talked to my coaches, I told them to hold me accountable for being who they want me to be. And so being able to walk in my dad's legacy, my mom's legacy, my sister's legacy here at FAMU, of course, there'll be some challenges to be able to live up to my dad because he played for Jake Gaither. You know, they won a lot of games here. Yeah, so trying to live up to that legacy of winning games and being the best here at FAMU would be tough. But one thing I can say I will do, and we'll continue to push everyone else to do is work. There's no getting around work if you want to be successful.
Coach Chris Evans with the fan viewer. How did your departure from Florida High change the Tallahassee basketball landscape? How did your departure from Florida High change the Tallahassee basketball landscape?
I don't think it's changed any landscape, because I know what we have at Florida High coming back, and I have trust that Coach Robinson, A.D. Robinson, will bring the next coach in and pick up where I left off. Hopefully take it to a new level. That is the goal when it's all said and done. We still have quality players there, and I know they'll continue to work to make sure that they're reaching their goals as well.
For those who are unfamiliar with your namesake, how do you kind of bridge the gap between student athletes, fans, and even trust the student body as the face of your basketball?
Say that again.
For those who aren't familiar with your namesake, how do you kind of bridge the gap between student athletes, fan base, and how do you kind of even trust the student body as the face of your basketball?
Well, one of the things, we're all the face of FAMU. So regardless if we're a student athlete, whatever it may be, we're all one when it's all said and done. And God's been able to bless me with a lot of great experiences. I've been able to go a lot of different places, but I just want to be able to be visible, just like all the other coaches here, to make sure that FAMU is receiving the things that they desire. And so whatever I can do to help move that needle, that's what I'm willing to do. And so our student athletes that represent the men's basketball team will be leaders on campus. The guys that, when I was going through the process of doing my due diligence, they can tell you that basketball is secondary. How we carry ourselves on campus, that is what I asked about the guys who were on the team. And so in academics is another one. And so there are a lot of things that we'll be looking to do to help our guys, as I talked about, the whole person, whole player, in personal development, professional development, all those things will be at the forefront of who we are. And that's including myself.
Coach, one more question for UT 27. You see the decent-sized crowd, the color-coordinated seats, the shining lights. What's the one word to describe the scenery for you today, if there is one word for you?
Well, one of my one words is always, I'm grateful. A lot of times we may take things for granted, and I'm one that whenever I text someone and all the time is we have to enjoy the moment, because we never know when we'll be back in this time again, or have this time again. And so I'm always talking about enjoying the moment. And so I'm going to enjoy this moment because hopefully when I'm standing on the sideline over here, we have more people in the stands watching us play. That is the goal. But one of the things I will say as well, if no one shows up, we still gonna have to come and play. And how we perform, people will want to come and see us play. And so that's our goal each and every day, is to make sure that we have people here to watch, not because of myself, but how we conduct ourselves in the community and how we play the game of basketball.
Coach Gerald Thomas again. First, coming in as a new coach, what you got to deal with roster turnover, and when you're identifying players, what kind of players do you want to bring to FAMU, and what kind of playing style will FAMU basketball have under your leadership?
Well, as a high school coach, I ran our program like college, pro, however you want to look at it. One of the things that I always talk about is, we have to be willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the whole. And then everyone has to play a role. One of the things I learned as a player was I had to play a role. And when I played my role to the best of my ability, I was the best version of myself. And so one of the things I've also shared with my guys is I played every single role. I've been the superstar, I've been the backup, I've been the guy who is the last man out, sitting on the end of the bench, hoping that the coach put me in. Or the guy in front of me didn't play as well, so I can get a chance. But even still, I played every single role, and that I share that with our group. What I'm looking for is guys who are willing to do that. I mean, talent, that's one thing, but you got to be coachable and willing to play your role. And each role, and as I said, each role changes from year to year. And sometimes the role changes within the season because if there are injuries, you got to be ready to step up. But a lot of times when we aren't getting what we desire, we have the attitude, why do I know? Because I've been there. As I've said before, yes, that was me. I was the guy at the end of the bench, upset because the coach didn't put me in. And when I got my opportunity to get in, my mind wasn't right. And so I didn't perform at a good level. And so I just try to share those examples with our guys so they can understand and know that I am doing what I feel is best for the group. And there's an evaluation period that we have. I did it at the high school level. We have an evaluation period, and then when it's time for us to define our rotation at the end of the year, then that's where we go, and those are the guys we roll with. And so we have an evaluation period, and everything is evaluated. Classroom attendance, guys who decide, hey, I don't want to practice today, that mentality. There are a lot of things that are being evaluated. And so that is how we decide who is the best fit for our group. And so in the recruiting process, we'll be looking for those types of players.
We'll take one last question here in the center.
Greetings, my name is Sherman, unassociated. But I want to say, as far as being a coach, you spoke about, as far as being able to bring performance to the court. What I want to ask as far as how would you be able to bring a great assistance community along the Raptors and the basketball program?
To bring, build,
build upon the relationship between the student body and the basketball program so that there are more seats filled and more rapid drive within the building. How would you be doing so?
well, first is going to start with Lauren May. Where's Lauren May? Let's give it up for our SGA president. Lauren and I go a few years back. At our stop in Pensacola. So being able to speak with Lauren about how we can bridge or bring that group together, because all the other places that we know of, student involvement at games is very, very important. And that's something I think hopefully we can bring to the table. But one of the things we have to do is make sure that we're doing our part. As a basketball team, people don't want to come see bad basketball. Nobody wants to see that. And so what hopefully they see is the heart behind what we do. We will put in the time to make our results what they are. And then if we don't get the results, then we'll continue to work and put the time in. But being able to bring the student body to the Lawson Center will be very, very important for us moving forward, because home court advantage, as we all know, is very, very important to team success. And so hopefully we do the necessary things to be able to bridge that gap. Was that it? Is it? I appreciate you guys coming out, and thanks, Go Rattlers.
Thank you. Good job, Coach. Thank you.
This concludes our program for today, but the doors of the box office are open, and we welcome you to get your season tickets as well as your courtside seats before you leave in 80 Suggs.
Thank you. And we have refreshments above, but also we can't do what we do without family. Shout out to, again, Trustee May. Shout out to my husband who's here. But we're going to ask that we're going to present these flowers to Coach Ward's wife and sister, as well as this boutonniere to his dad.
And at this time, we'll have our photographers come down to get a few photos before we conclude. Thank you so much, and God bless and God safe travels.
Hey, trustee. See you, girl. See you, happy host reservation.